Colson.
The Aquaman.
The Jock. Watch yourself. Aquaman. Long arm sponsors, baby. Aquaman. Watch yourself. Baby. Long arm sponsors, baby.
Love it. 3, 2, 1.
All it takes is one bad day. You've eaten Gotham's wealth, its spirit, but your feast is nearly over.
This is not money. It's an operating table. And I'm the surgeon. Why aren't you laughing?
From this moment on, none of you are safe.
Welcome to the Batman Book Club, a podcast exploring the Dark Knight Library. I'm your host, Ryan Lauer. The Batman Book Club is a proud member of the Batman Podcast Network, hosted by Batman on Film. Just go to batmanonfilm.com, click on podcasts, and you'll find the Batman Podcast Network. That is a whole list of other Bat-related shows that also like to dive into other nerdy subjects we all love to frolic about in our free time. The Batman Book Club is also on Patreon. If you like what's going on with the show and you want to help support the show and keep the generators running in the Wayne Manor study, just go to patreon.com/thebatmanbc. Now, thank you for listening to episode number 115, Batman in July. It's another end to a month where me and my partner in crime right here, my monthly co-host, is going to look back on this month's Batman comic books. My partner in crime here, he's the man who smokes all the meats. He's a fellow Batman on Film contributor, and he is the assistant of one Eric Holzman on the Straight Outta Gotham podcast. Peter Verra, welcome back to the Batman Book Club.
As the assistant to Eric Holzman on the Straight Outta Gotham podcast, I'd like for everyone to know that all complaints for this podcast go to, and say the address, please.
At Final E33.
Thank you very much. So all complaints for both podcasts go to the same person, Eric Holzman. I just wanted you to know that as the assistant of the Straight Outta Gotham podcast.
Eric, champion of Long Island. E-C-O-L-I for short. E. coli.
E. coli.
E. coli.
E. coli. Galactus. Uxus. E. coli.
You know the Ricola commercials back in the day? I always thought they were saying E. coli. Yeah, I swear. I always thought that's what it was. I was like, oh, is this what to help you with E. coli problems?
E. coli.
Fabulous. Pete, how you been? How you doing?
You know, Ryan,
yes.
We are recording this the day after Comic-Con's big Saturday Hall H. So riding that high as I can go. That was a fantastic day. I'm having a great weekend. And it's going to get even better because we have a stellar month of Bat books to go over.
We certainly do.
The culmination of July, really today, a euphoric experience. This show is going to be like any other. We're riding high from yesterday.
Yeah.
Lots of great stuff there. Lots of great stuff in front of us to talk about. So, man, it's just, I'm just so amped up.
You're riding high because you had your own. Okay, so today you've got a lot of nerdy stuff you're doing on your own level, recording your multiple podcasts and watching cool nerdy things. Shout out to Straight Outta Gotham. Shout out to the Carusos, Italians for Spidey.
Yeah,
but yesterday you had your own private Comic-Con as well.
I put away a backlog of 7 months worth of comic books.
Yeah,
and that was an adventure. I had about 3-4 long boxes to put away. Still have one out that it's just we got too much at some point. It's actually easier because I have to do a lot of shifting because I have like 40 some long boxes.
Damn.
It's easier to start at the end of the alphabet. So like the Batman books always get cataloged and filed last for some reason. I guess mostly because they
work up to the main event. That's what it is. Yeah, that's it. What do you listen to while you put those away?
Yesterday I listened to the soundtrack to the Batman, actually.
Hell yeah.
Mixed in with a rendition of Ave Maria and whatever the 3 club songs were from the movie. Reno was
Corvette Tesla.
Yeah, Reno did some research for us, and he found the songs that were playing in the club at the Iceberg Lounge. So that's cool. I added that to my Batman playlist, and as I was filing my comic books away, I was listening to that.
Yeah. So shout out to Reno. He goes by one name, like Seal and Share.
Yeah.
Corvad Tesla. Thank you to the YouTube comments section. I love that. So that's what's playing in the background of the Iceberg Lounge when Batman and Penguin are first talking in the movie.
Mhm.
And I loved that music. And I found it on YouTube pretty quickly due to comments,
really?
but it wasn't available in the US to buy digitally. And then Reno sent us a text the other day, and it was available on iTunes in the US now, as well as the other club songs. So yeah, that was good. I've listened to it. That's a good beat to put on. And yeah, like you said, put it in
Do you
your
have a Batman playlist?
Yeah.
Now, just out of curiosity, for someone who else has a Batman specific playlist, as I'm sure a lot of our listeners do, what consists of your Batman playlist? Are you just doing live action? Like, I know for me, I have some Shirley Walker in there. I was able to buy, I think I have like volume 1 and 2 of the animated series in there, as mixed in with all the live action appearances. So I'm just wondering what is inside of your playlist. Is it?
I've mixed it around. So a lot of times I love to listen to the scores while reading comics. I have the first 2 volumes of the animated series. There were different times where I just had those 2 because each one has like 20 something tracks, I think, that I just let them be their own thing.
Yeah.
But then I threw them into the mix, in which the live action Batman Returns, Nolan
Do you have any
trilogy,
game soundtracks?
the Batman. I don't have. Oh yes,
Because
I do. I've got
Origins,
Arkham
right?
Origins, Christmas playlist, Arkham Origins, and Batman Returns. And then look for it this December. I always tweet out Christopher Drake and say this is always on loop, and then he always comments. It's a nice little thing. I don't think he remembers me, but that's okay. It's fun that he comments every time.
I've also incorporated music from Batman movies, not necessarily the scores, like Something in the Way, Ave Maria, or
the Riddler,
like stuff like
Man.
that. Like even like back when Forever went crazy, but what was it called? The music, the song that I forget what it is, the waltz in BVS, like that's in my Batman playlist as well. So stuff like that, like music from the movie itself also finds its way there.
Nice. Well, we aren't going to play our playlists while we talk about this, but anybody listening, feel free to put on some Batman score while Pete and I sit here and we talk about Batman comics in July. Now, Pete, you already teased this a little bit, though. You said that we had a pretty damn good month of Batman comics. So we're going to bookend this with 2 of the most highly anticipated issues that I've been thinking about for this month in July. And let's kick it off with Batman number 125, because as it even says on the cover of this issue, a new era begins. Chip Zdarsky, Jorge Jimenez, who we know Jorge Jimenez did a lot of Batman with James Tynion not too long ago, did Fear State. We talked about that stuff here. I think we were always quite complimentary to Jimenez's art. His art is great. So it was exciting to see him come back, because I was really excited about Chip Zdarsky being his writer. I want to start because, Pete, this is my book that I cover on Batman on Film, and we will talk spoilers. So if you haven't read it yet, hang in there a couple minutes. I loved this issue, Pete. I thought it was great. I loved the flashback of us being in the cave with Alfred. It's like Bruce, yes, it was just a dream, but it is kind of something, it's status quo Batman that I miss a little bit. Nothing wrong with this issue, but I do miss the fact that he's in the cave. He's got Alfred. Like, I do I miss that instead of, poor Bruce Wayne. But we get an interesting story of Batman kicking ass. He's at the Iceberg Lounge, and the Penguin, your boy Oswald, gets one over on him, where one of his goons shoots Tim Drake in the neck. Batman goes to the hospital, where it seems like Oswald is on life support. He's dying. Like, the nurse even basically says he's about dead, and his last breath is getting one over on Batman, where he takes a cyanide pill and then it looks like Batman murdered him.
Mhm.
With that, at first we thought it was Penguin because you always have to have a gala, right?
Mhm.
But it wasn't Penguin, it was Clayface. I thought that whole scene was really cool. I think the art in all of this looks spectacular. Reads even better physically because, I mean,
yeah,
that's for you, Justin Kowalski. There was kind of like a lot set up in this issue, and then it's bookended basically by, like a beep. We get back to that Batcave shot that we opened up the book on, and where there was a beep and there's another beep, and we see what that beep is, which it seems to be a failsafe. So I don't know if it ends up becoming like a robot or AI or something like that, which that doesn't full on like excite me because I'm like AI, but also like I'll give it benefit of the doubt because the whole issue I thought kicked ass. Have at it.
I really liked it. I thought it was good.
Okay.
I don't like anything with Oswald because I don't like the fact that he's dead.
Okay. Well, yeah. But that's temporary.
Is it? I don't know.
Somehow he's gonna come back.
Oswald took a cyanide pill. Like I'm imagining Oswald's dead. But then again, like I remember, like I put on Twitter, I was like, is this more like, is he dead like Alfred or is he dead like Bane? Right? Because we just, as we'll talk about now, like
yeah, we'll talk
Bane's
about Bane now coming up. Yeah.
I thought it was really good. Jimenez's art is really on a different just level than everybody's.
Yeah.
I love that he chose the DeVito Penguin. I think that's great. I love that just fat portly version of the Penguin.
That where he's yelling at him from the hospital.
Yeah, that's great.
That's the most.
Which is although
Oswald
everything, his rendition of Tim Drake to his artwork is just magnificent. It's just so gorgeous. I like the story. I'm interested to see where it goes. I like how it intertwines. I mean, we'll talk about it. We see Catwoman's perspective in one issue, which is great. So there's a couple little points that are connected. I'm interested to see where it goes from here. But overall, this is a great start. The backup tale was
I read it.
Was interesting. I enjoyed it. I dig it. I like that we see a lot of Selena. So it's fascinating. I like this whole I like when she's still doing her Catwoman stuff. I'm not a big Selena kind of hero type, but this works. So overall, I think it's a really good comic book and a solid issue, especially for your price point. This is a fatter book, so this is $6. But overall, it's really good. I wonder what they're going to do with this robot, though, at the end of the primary. I just let's see where it goes.
Yes.
Yeah, but killing off the Penguin is not a positive start for me, to be brutally honest with you. So I'm not happy. I don't like.
I get that.
It's just
that's your boy. You're riding high on Penguin this year.
Yeah. So to kill him off, and I was like, oh wow, okay. It's just we'll see what happens. Maybe it's maybe it's not. Maybe it's a red herring.
It's such a strong start that hopefully, as it continues on, it doesn't take away from how strong of a start this issue.
But I could also feel like I said, Alfred, okay, he's dead, but everything around it's really good. Even though Alfred died, I still enjoyed Joker War and all of what Tynion was doing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So listen to that. We just kind of said, between the two of us, the book opens to kind of stuff I used to love about Batman that we don't have right now. Penguin dies in the issue. And at the end, we're teased that the villain is it seems like almost some kind of AI tech thing.
Yeah.
And I still love the issue. It's everything in between those moments, the moments that have me a little well, I don't know. Everything else in between those moments was great. So I think that's what really instills hope for the Batman book now that since I've been covering
Batman Neo year.
Since we've been, I know you liked Joker War a lot more than I did. Since you and I have been doing the monthly wrap-ups, which actually was the start of Fear State.
I'd say so, probably around there.
This is the most excited I've been for the book. So I think it's in good hands. I really excited.
I'm not doubting that. I'm not doubting that.
Really excited to see what they come up with, what they're doing as it unfolds.
Zdarsky is one of the top 5 writers in the game right now. So
I'm
people not worried about story, but he'll make choices I don't like. So, and he did. So
you read his Daredevil?
Yeah, I liked it. There's a few things.
Okay. I think Justin loves it, right? Doesn't he preach about
Justin?
That a lot?
If you ask Justin, Zdarsky's the only writer worth reading right now. Okay. Don't bother reading anybody else but Zdarsky. That's how Justin feels.
Peter, I mean, I could say that this was probably highly anticipated this month. Also, that Tuesday, it was a big first
What,
Tuesday
125?
for Batman. No, I think 125 was definitely, but
Yeah.
Batman 89 number 6.
Oh yeah, dude.
The final chapter of this Batman 89. It's been delayed for a little bit, but I think we saw online why this issue was delayed because one of the talents got COVID and was pretty sick. So when sometimes it kind of wait till we hear the whole story, because then that totally makes sense that a book would get delayed a little bit. If your COVID can kick some ass and like a comic book needs to be paused, then it's fine. I'll let you take the lead, but I just want to comment that I think this is the best cover out of any of the covers that were released. And I like some of the covers. What's that?
They're all good.
They're all good, yes, but this one looks so damn good.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, carry on. Take it away.
I just had so much fun with this title. It's wonky, it's crazy, it's over the top, it's campy. It reminds me so much of the movies, to be honest with you. And I know some people have their gripes for whatever reasons, but for me, this thing really worked. And from start to finish, a couple only things I didn't really dig. I'm sure there was a plot point or two I didn't like, but like off the top of my head, like a few character designs. Like I'm still not a fan of this Catwoman design, but I had so much fun with this and the Harvey Dent stuff and this Robin. I was cool. I like the motorcycle. I mean, everything. I like Selena in the cave. I thought it was interesting. I mean, how Harvey kind of bit the bullet in the back. Yeah, it was a lot of interesting choices he made. Ham.
Yeah,
not necessarily some that I would have made, but I like where it ended. I would totally do more of this. For me, it was just fun. I had this and Superman 78. I had so much fun with these, and I'll always be more partial to this version than anything else, really. But I love this from start to finish. I really did.
I thought it was a lot of fun. I went back and I reread issues 1 through 5 before reading 6. Because I think when we talked about the first issue almost like a year ago, I think I was a little disappointed, but I warmed up to it after the initial, after my first reaction. I think the story was pretty good. I think the art was fun. Mm-hmm. There's definitely nods to Burton without it looking exactly like Burton.
Yeah.
But there's enough there. For this issue specifically, I really love the first page and the very intricate art of Harvey Two-Face and the split and the dialogue. yeah, that'd be really cool. The going back and forth of Harvey talking to himself, that stuff was cool. And everything else you said, I'm with you on Catwoman. I'm kind of curious why the bottom half is like it is, because I think the top half is perfect.
It's a weird combination of animated series and Pfeiffer.
Yeah, because you get some panels like when she's riding in the Batmobile with Drake, and you get one where she looks at him and it's like, that's Batman Returns Catwoman. Yeah. Absolutely. But there's some changes that are kind of interesting, but I thought it was fun at the end.
Yeah, I wish Drake's cape wasn't feathered. I don't like the feathered cape look, but that's like,
Yeah. Did you notice? I think I put it out on Twitter that at the end, wrapping everything up, that you get a Joe Quinones, the artist, cameo. He's the GPS guy that Barbara has to sign.
Yeah, I noticed that. I saw you post that.
Oh, that was fun. But yeah, like you said, I'd be down for more. I think the hardcover collection is scheduled to come out next month at the end of August. And then I think we'll be covering it on here pretty soon after that in its entirety to have a good discussion. But I think overall it was fun. Yeah. And I hope they come up with more somehow and do something.
I still think having a Batman 95 or a Batman 97 is a great idea. If you want to call it Batman and Robin 97, sure. I think that would be fine. I would be if Goldsman wants to do it. Obviously, he would be the one who would write it because Joel's passed. It would have been something to do with Joel.
I just assume that this made some money, and we know Superman 78's getting another volume. in the dust jacket of the new hardcover that was just released. Robert Venditti's bio says that he's working on the next volume of Superman 78. So I think that just shows that Superman 78 made money, and I hope this made money to where they're interested in hearing more. Yeah, and let's get more, because this was fun. In the end, I thought it was fun. I came around to it, lightened up a little bit on it.
I really enjoyed it. I really did.
So moving along, also that same Tuesday, Flashpoint Beyond number 3. Take it away, Pete.
Well, I mean, it's a little bit more revealed. We realized that Reverse Flash may have a little bit more of a hand in this than originally thought. I thought the artwork was really good. I really liked where this was going. I liked the Superman, Batman stuff. The stuff with Ivy was very interesting. This world that we don't really know too much about, that we thought was gone, is kind of unfolding before our eyes. So it's a lot to take in.
Yeah.
Interesting going on with Miss Falcone. It was interesting to see where.
Did you call it as soon as you saw her? You're like, that's
how could
Sophia mole right there.
That's the mole. Yeah, you know what it is. I guess
the mole.
Well, it looks, when you see her that first panel, you're looking up at her.
Yeah.
Tell me that doesn't look like Sale.
True.
Like that looks like Sale's art right there.
Yeah.
Like I understand that's intentional, obviously, because of his passing recently. And I thought that was a wonderful little nod to Tim. But yes, I called him immediately. I mean, how could I look at her? She's Gigantor. she's a lot. That's a lot to take. It's a lot. That's a tall tree to climb. So I thought that was cool what they did with her. And then you see, oh wow, okay, then the big reveal. And then obviously you get the bleed action, which I thought was interesting. But again, overall, I don't know what's changing what. Is Flashpoint or Dark Crisis on Infinite Earths going to change the universe? Because it seems like they're both doing the same thing, which makes me wonder how screwed up the universe is going to be in like 3 months.
Which I know you're going to bring it up. I forgot to mark down which Tuesday Dark Crisis. I think it's important to talk about it because it's a big event and it's got the Batman in it, and we'll get to it. So
that's fine.
But yeah, so Flashpoint, I think so. We're just over halfway. So counting issue 0, I think it's 7 issues total. 0, then 1 through 6. This is number 3, so we've got 4, 5, 6 left. I think for me, this halfway point is a good time for me to go back and read everything over again. Just kind of do a good refresher, because this story feels very, very expansive. It's
hefty. There's a lot in here.
Yeah.
Man.
And that's fine. I mean, that's not discrediting anything. It's got 3 writers on it: Jeff Johns, Jeremy Adams, and Tim Sheridan.
This is also a
cohesively
book
working on it. So
where you need knowledge of the past to understand. So like a new reader isn't going to get like the Sophia thing. You know what I'm saying? Like if you're just starting out, Flashpoint Beyond is not probably the best book for you, because you got to kind of work up to it.
I mean, yeah. So everything that I just said, I mean that in, of course, a very complimentary way. Of it's a very smart book. It's got a lot going on. It's expanding in a really interesting way, but it's not contradicting the Flashpoint universe that we were introduced to a decade ago.
I think it's actually turned out to be a wonderful companion piece so far.
I agree. And it really makes me want to, and I think when this is over and done with, I want to go through and do a full Flashpoint universe reread. Because I think I've told you, I read the main.
You can only do that if you get the Absolute Edition.
Oh, I have the Absolute Edition.
Oh, then you're fine.
Remember? I mean, between those bad boys.
Oh, then we bought them all together, didn't we?
Yeah. Amazon sold out because they're just like, wow, this massive boost in a absolute Flashpoint, because they had a hell of a deal.
All right, so we'll have another Absolute party.
Yeah, there you go. But I want to go back through and I want to read the tie-in books, because I've only ever read the Batman one, which I thought was phenomenal. But I haven't read any of the others, and I really just want to read everything, because everything is available through Hoopla.
Jeez.
And just do a whole Flashpoint universe read, because I mean, and that's all compliments to this book then, because it's like, man, this really makes me want to go dig into everything of the Flashpoint universe. So I mean, this boy that we've been wondering, well, no,
This
the
boy.
coon hat guy, I don't know. I forget his name.
Davy
but
Crockett.
Yeah. Dexter Dents is next. And then there's a hyper time is a big tease at the end of this. And I get a little bit lost with some of that stuff. So we'll see how that plays out. But overall, Flashpoint Beyond is.
Yeah. What do you think's going when I see the reverse flash at the end of this book? You know what I'm thinking? I'm going back to Suicide Squad Hell to Pay. And I think he's going to have some sort of like similar motives. You know, I think it's going to be kind of his story. You know, I just got a feeling Reverse Flash is going to be more into it. Like, I don't think he's, I don't think we've seen the last of him.
I mean, yeah. Yeah, because
have you seen that animated film?
Yeah. I mean, it's been a while.
It's been a while.
I know. But yeah, since I've watched it and I know what you mean. I can picture now him in the third act of that movie. And there's any of these time people, there's multiple of them pending where you're going to jump into the timeline. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I totally agree with you. Oh, and I think we're going to, he's up to something, I wouldn't dare guess or try to say I have it figured out because I have no freaking clue, but I'm enjoying the ride. Quality book. Speaking of time, Batman Killing Time, number 5. Mm-hmm. Tom King, David Marquez, Peter. How you feeling?
This book continues to just kick ass. It just does. I mean, I love all the twists and turns, and I love everything. It's so funny how like Tom King, he can write so well with so many. Like he can be like quote unquote wordy, but at the same time, he could also write another totally different book without saying anything. So the man is just really fascinating to me. But I like how he went about this. I like the bus. So and so is here doing this, blah blah blah. Like I like the premise and how they went about it. I love the street level attitude, like, hey, no phones, boom, just stuff like that's cool. The raid on the park was fascinating and interesting. Batman, the Help, the Riddler, like it was just, I was like, man, this book just kicks ass. And then at the end, you throw in a character that I had no idea was going to pop up, had no clue, totally out of left field, and I'm like, dude, yes, I love Killing Time, and I'm going to buy this book in like this is going to be like, like some people have a million copies of Dark Knight Returns. I'm just going to buy this. This book is so much fun. Like I'm going to buy like, I don't know, absolute editions, and I'll buy an omnibus and an oversized deluxe. I don't know. Who cares? I'm going to buy a million copies. Like I love Killing Time. It's so good. So good.
And we totally get it now too, that the reveal of the person at the end, that has been the narrator.
Mm-hmm.
This whole time,
which all makes sense because you're like, oh, Batman's not telling me what's going on. It's that guy. Uh-huh. What?
Yeah. What? And so I'll admit I was starting to get a little frustrated. Let's see, all the way up until page 8, because we're just jumping to all these goons, fighting each other, whatever. And I was like, okay, I get it. It's a bunch of people that we don't know that are dying and killing each other, or whatever. And then
I was like, how's this person going to die? How's this person going to kill this person?
Like, well, then
I was hanging on each one.
They work toward it to where by issue's end, it makes sense and it kind of comes full circle. So I think I've seen majority praise for this book. I know someone's told me that they're not huge fan of this book because they do think that telling of time thing is a poor attempt of mocking Manhattan from Watchmen. And I'm like, okay, I can see that, but that,
right,
and
I guess
one of my, I don't know, issue 2 or 3 that we talked about. And that was one time I told you that I was getting a little like frustrated and reading it that time.
Really?
So I do get it, but also I think that this is very different than how Tom King has written anything Batman.
It's so detailed.
Yeah. And it's also very clever and very intricate in how he's trying to tell the story.
Writer.
So it's just a new approach to telling a story.
Yeah.
Because if you just went fully linear with it, it would be like, oh yeah, that's cool, that's fun. But
That's
instead,
why I think King's so cool, man. He just
like
does things differently.
I've told you, I think like this is a book I know this isn't
This
like an
page.
easy read.
I love this page.
That's a good one. Yes.
Oh,
It's not an easy read. I have to sit aside 25, 30 minutes uninterrupted and just read.
I like that you
kind
give
of
it the
ingest.
attention it deserves. Yes, you do.
Yeah.
You need to pay attention
Because you miss a lot if
Focus
you're
on
just
it.
really quick.
Yeah.
It's not a toilet issue. And I don't mean that it's shit. I mean like, hey, I got to go poop. So I'll read a comic book. This is not one of those. Okay. And if it is, then you have problems.
Get some Metamucil in your diet.
Anyways, Mountain Dew is doing just fine.
Mountain Dew's good for your poops.
Sure. It's green. Anyways.
Okay. Do you
Killing time. I don't know, Pete. Okay, moving on.
You're the one who started. I'm just asking questions. You want bringing up feces.
I was trying to say that it's a book that you take your time with in reading. Okay, so let's just stick on that. So here we go.
All I wanted was Henry Cavill at Comic-Con, and he didn't show up. What's going on, Ryan?
Maybe he missed his call because he was reading Batman Killing Time #5 and was so invested. I mean, it's possible.
All I
Anything's
wanted
possible.
was Peter Dinklage announced as Dr. Psycho for Wonder Woman 3.
Yeah, that'd be
That's
cool.
all I wanted. I didn't get it. Hashtag WTF.
Batman Killing Time wraps up. Pete,
Yeah,
at the
but
moment that we're recording this, Batman Killing Time #6 is available for you and I to read. But we're gonna wait. I knew I could have read it to see how it concluded. I'm like, no, because I will skip and slip up on the end, or so I'll get issues confused and everything. So I'm ready to read this and see how it wraps up here, like as soon as we're done recording. Good story. I'm with you. I'll buy when they release a hardcover of it. I'll buy it. It'll be mine. It'll go on the bat shelf.
I will buy him.
Let's wrap it up with Batman Beyond Neo Year #4. This was okay. So everything I said about Killing Time, as far as the attention, kind of the opposite for this. This was a very easy read, and I think it moved along really quick. And that's just observation. That's not saying I'm talking about quality and it's not good or something. It's interesting. It's a massive fight, and then to find out who's behind like the fight itself, who Terry's actually fighting, was interesting as well. Including and checking back in with the detective that popped up last issue, and then what happens with them in that scene and stuff. That's interesting. So I think this issue was pretty fun. It's not usually like this. Definitely is Batman Beyond through and through. Pending my mood, like I don't know if like this is a Batman book I'll go grab and read some afternoon when I've got some time. I just want to read one or not. This usually isn't my type of Batman story, but I still think it's pretty good. Let her rip. Yeah. Okay.
I'm like on it. The villain sucks. I like the moments with Terry. I like, I like Terry's Batman moments. Terry saves the book. I like the ending of the book.
Sure.
But yeah, like this whole like villain possessing computer bullshit is just like not for me. I'm just like, what? This is way too out there. I like Terry and the detective. I think she's cool. I like her. I just don't like this whole body possessing samurai thing. I just think it's kind of dumb. But
I get that.
It got me because I want to see what goes on at the end. The cliffhanger is really good. So
I love that page at the end. Yeah, that's a really cool page.
I dig that. So am I really into this? Not really, but it does enough like mystery wise where it's like, okay, like they got me for the next. It's issue by issue. Let's just put it that. It's issue by issue. And my interest is peaked enough to keep going for now.
The only issue I didn't really like was 2, and that's when it was the 3-headed, green-haired, whatever, mega tech thing, whatever. And that's another thing too. So yeah, so just AI in itself is not an interesting villain to me.
Yeah.
Whatever, and that's why
leave that for Cyborg.
Yeah, so like this failsafe that we just talked about like 20 minutes ago. It's like we'll see. But that kind of stuff usually doesn't excite me. And this kind of is, but the difference is it's possessing someone and then Terry is physically fighting a person. So that at least gives it an edge to where it's not just him fighting a robot or something either. It's like he is actually fighting people. So I think that does give it a little bit of an edge, and I'm having fun with this. I thought that what I saw, before was that this was 6 issues, and this here is issue number 4. So I mean, we'll see if issue 6 comes around and it's it continues next or something like that. Then I'll sort of get, well, I keep reading it because I feel there's an end point, and I want to see how they stick the landing. And if you're going to say it's ongoing, well, then you might lose me. I don't need an ongoing Batman Beyond for the next, unforeseeable future.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, give me a mini series. That wraps the first Tuesday. Yeah, all that is the first Tuesday. I mean, it's a breeze from here on out. The second Tuesday, Batman Urban Legends number 17.
This is great.
This
is like
is what Batman Urban Legends should have been this entire time. We had, of course,
I got no problem with what it's been. I think it's actually been pretty good, to be honest, all except for like one book.
This is post Ace World. I forget what the story was called. The Amazing Ace story. The past 6 months that you and I have been covering and
that's true,
drooling over. So I was really wondering, are they going to have any stories that hook me here? But this is just 3, well, technically 4. So 3 like normal sized stories and then 1 really short story. But it's just Batman teaming up with Aquaman, Batman teaming up with Flash, Batman against Black Adam, and then Batman hunting the Riddler. That's Batman Urban Legends, and I dug it. I thought this was a blast.
Brilliant. Yeah, totally.
I want more of this.
Yeah. I think this is actually the first time that it aced all stories. There isn't necessarily a story I would say skip over. The Black Adam story I like the least because it's Batman and magic, and that's not my thing, but it's very good.
It's so
the
good.
Batman and Flash story is very good, which is probably my preferred team up because they're both, but obviously Barry Allen being the forensic scientist.
That makes the most sense out of any of the team ups.
It makes it good for a team. Yeah, it makes for a great team up. Great, much more than like I say Batman Green Lantern or even Flash Green Lantern. So hold on, let's do this. Sorry, iPad making noise. And then the Batman Aquaman book felt very almost 60s, but like believable, even like maybe 50s, 60s era. That was great. And the Bat sub was fantastic. Nice little touch.
Mira and Aquaman come up in the Batcave, in which Batman not even greeting them. Yellow Oval is shining, and Alfred making a note. There are some underwater passageways into the cave that still need to be sealed. Like, I love that. I thought that was great.
Thank you.
Alfred even copied that, sir. And then I should thank you. Mira comes out swinging, ready to kick some ass.
She was a little bit much, wasn't she?
Yeah, she was fiery. But I mean, the laughing fish. We get some laughing fish in this. I thought that was great.
I thought of you because of Mira and the laughing fish. I want you to know that.
Okay, I appreciate that. I'll let her know. But I mean, Aquaman and Batman Adventure, you kind of expect something like how it was.
Yeah, and I didn't think it was too bad.
No, it wasn't too like
very brave and the boldy.
Yeah, right? I don't know. I just had fun with it, and that's all I really wanted. And I did think some panels and some art. Apologies, Serge Acuna. I think some of his art looked like Dan Mora. Especially like Aquaman's face in some panels. And I'm a big fan of Dan Mora. We'll talk about that soon. But yeah, the Bat sub was pretty good. I'm with you on Black
riding
Adams.
A whale.
Yeah. The Flash story, I think that one's probably my favorite because just like it makes sense the Batman and Flash team up, it would totally make sense that Mr. Freeze and Captain Cold are together as well.
Yes, I agree.
I actually always confused Captain Cold when I was younger for Mr. Freeze fighting Flash. But yeah, I don't know. The book overall this is the most positive from beginning to end I've been on Batman and Urban Legends ever.
Yeah, this is probably, like I said, they aced everyone.
Yep. A lot of fun. I Am Batman number 11 was also that Tuesday. This is a series that you read. I do not. How was that?
I enjoyed this. This is fun. Just continuing on with the it's actually taking a real deeper dive into corruption and political drama than I thought it was going to. So that's fascinating. The action stuff is really good. Jace is trying to find his bat cave, which I think he will find, and I think he's found some good cover for it. But you can see he's going through some learning experiences as Batman, but he's also kind of picking up pretty well, and he's making a good name for himself within New York. There's a lot more going on in New York that reminds you of Gotham City than not, and it's kind of fun to see in a new setting and in a fresh environment.
All right.
So I'm digging it. I think you should start reading it. I think it's pretty good.
Okay. We'll see. Is anything in this issue tease about his sister gonna suit up and join him or anything? Because I thought there was an image released that was like teasing that it's coming, and I don't know her name.
Not from what I remember.
Nothing that you can see. Okay. I mean, maybe she's gonna have her own series launching, like in October or November or something. This was just I don't know. But I thought I saw some image that was teasing that. So
no, I don't.
Okay.
I do not. I do not.
No,
I think it's good, man. I think you should really pick it up because it's right up your alley. It's not over the top. It's still very grounded and in everything. It's probably like the easiest transition they've tried to do a Batman without Bruce Wayne.
Okay,
and that's just because of the setting, though. Yeah, it's because of the setting, though. I think that's really what they've done.
Let's move along to the next Tuesday. And Batman the Night, number 7. Batman is back with Zatanna. Bruce is with Zatanna.
Mm-hmm.
I thought this was a good issue. He's finally left Anton in his past. Good. Still don't know if I don't know if he really is Ghostmaker or not. The internet thinks so. Regardless,
I believe he is.
Regardless, he's with magicians this time, and I thought this was fun.
Mm-hmm.
The magic stuff too. It's funny because I like Zatanna as a character. Her with Batman, it becomes Justice League Dark, and Batman included in Justice League Dark, and it's like,
but Batman and Zatanna have such a rich history. They have such a rich history together.
Exactly, and I think it's just Bruce and Zatanna, like them in this where they're just talking and they're at a bar and like in an apartment or something like that, without all the extra stuff. It's like those are the moments I really like, those moments, because I think that does capitalize and show their history of each other and mm-hmm. how they're allies and stuff like that, and that's cool to see. And then it's like then you bring in the dark magic and everything, and I'm like, I don't know. It just kind of depends how the story unfolds, but I think overall it was fun.
Yeah, for me, remember that Batman Urban Legends Batman Zatanna story that didn't do it for me? This did. I really enjoyed this. I thought this was good. It's not quite as good as what Tynan gave us during his detective run, mm-hmm. but this is it's just a little bit below that, but it's still very good. I like the inclusion. I like just the family aspect of everything involving the Zataras, and including them in Bruce's life, and how they are kind of family friends. Like they are people that he can trust with this secret, and that I like that aspect, and the fact that they're magicians and Zatanna eventually joins the Justice League stuff is still very cool. But I think when you do Batman and magic, Batman and Zatanna, and you do it right. And that's what Zdarsky did here. He did it the right way. Unfortunately, that Batman Urban Legends book did not live up to the hype. But, this book has been peaking and valleying. I like some issues. I like some issues more than others. I don't like some issues. We're almost done here. I'm not about to drop it.
You got 3 issues
like some books. I did drop. I'll be the first to admit right now. I dropped World's Finest. So
okay, well, that's
but it's like, next, should I have dropped it? Because I probably should have picked it up. Because we'll talk about that.
Yeah, we'll talk about that here in just a couple minutes. This one, I think I would to also say I really liked the Chip Zdarsky. We didn't mention that yet. Chip Zdarsky's on this.
We know Justin read this.
Yes. I liked his moments of where he's talking about oh my gosh, I'm blanking on Zatanna's dad.
Giuseppe.
Okay. His lesson to Bruce on how Bruce feels like he needs to know everything and include magic, and then the point of not learning that and why he tries to refrain him from that, and then how they bring that up at the in the last couple of pages, and the magic is telling stories about he's telling Bruce stories about his parents and run into stuff like that. I think that's a good, so it's kind of just like the human the human scenes, human factors, relationship stuff in this issue is why I think this was a good issue that did it for me, was building on that. On that history rather than just like physical action moments kind of history.
I agree.
I thought it was cool. It was a good one. Okay, so you just said you read Batman Superman World's Finest #5.
I did a digi-style. I did a Lauer style.
Digi-style, yeah. Okay. This is probably I texted you this. This is the best issue since the first.
I think I agree with you. Really.
Because
it also sells next issue. Like next issue, I'm like, okay, but it's like, where is Robin? Like, oh, he's not kidnapped somewhere. He's like floating around.
Yeah.
And like, so it's like, do I really want, I just, I don't know. But then Mora's art's so great. You get that 89 oval with the extra wings, it's just like, God, am I buying this book just for the art?
You're conflicted.
Am I buying this book just for the art?
Because if that's the case, you can just like look up the art or keep reading the art digitally and really like the panels. But I mean, I say it's the best. It's still not necessarily my thing, but I think it's because there's finality to it. Nazar, the devil, he's
the horn guy.
He's put away. They got rid of that, and then it's kind of like Batman. He doesn't want to give up on where others are kind of saying that you got to give up on Superman on this because this is how it is, and Batman is Batman, so he finds a way to kind of save Superman, and then like you said, they kind of tease what's coming up next. In which it's let's rescue Robin. So I'm interested on that. This arc seems to be over, and I'm ready to see what's up next. And if I continue to read the book, and that last page of Batman by Dan Moore, I mean, that just shows Dan Moore is freaking. That guy's awesome. Love his art. The story is just kind of like not my thing. That's all.
And I was really pumped because it's Wade. So I was like,
I thought this seemed like seemed like a home run, but it's just. I don't know. Didn't love it. But that's fine. I don't have to love everything. Let's see. Next. The final Tuesday in July. Let's hop to it, Pete. Detective Comics number 1062. A new team begins in these pages as well. One Sir Ram V and Raphael Albuquerque. So this team also got me very excited. It got me just as excited as Zdarsky and Jimenez. And I'm like, man, the two what do you want to say, elite Batman books are like, they're bringing in some heavy hitters. So since this is your book that you cover on Batman Up Film, and this has been your book for Detective's been your book for a long time, which is also perfect. We discovered that if you have to choose just over the history, Detective's kind of been your thing, Batman's been mine. So, Pete, I think you should go first. What did you think of the new era?
I thought it was interesting. I thought Ram did a great job of setting things up. It seems to be what might be a little bit more mystical than what I usually dig. It's funny, even though I just said I love Batman as a Tana. So we'll see what's going on. It seems like resin is popular now in all Bat books. It's one of those things from a future state that seems to have hung on. And we'll see. I like what he was introducing and where you think the book would lead. And the characters. You get some Talia, you get some Nightwing, great Nightwing interactions. I thought that was great. I'm not sure really what's going on with these, I guess, supposed bad guys, but time will tell. We'll see what's going on. But the artwork was great. The story was interesting. I didn't like the backup. I didn't like it at all. I'm sorry. This is the first one. It just didn't do it for me. I didn't like the art. I didn't like the story at all. No, sorry. So that brings the grade of the book down overall because you're paying.
Gotcha. Okay.
At the price point, it's probably a $6 book. This will probably drop after. When will this drop? Will this drop after my review?
Yeah.
So then, so I will probably give this a B-, B+.
Wow.
It teeters at the story because it just sets up things. It's nothing like dramatic or amazing.
Sure.
The price point, the backup story lacking. I'll probably lean more towards a B+ than a B-. So I misspoke. So I'll give it I'm sorry, a
This
B. B. I'm giving it
this I do think this takes a very, I mean, I was gonna say an operatic approach, but that was the whole point. Is they even said that was what they were gonna do, and very artistic. It seems like a total setup issue.
Mhm. It doesn't, it's just, there's not enough for me to really get that. They're very vague teases. Like you get Talia, you get Resin, you get these people. Like I just need a little bit more. Maybe, I don't know. I don't know, maybe I'm just not really getting the whole red giant sleeping bat thing. I maybe got to read it. I've only read it once.
Yeah.
But yes, like I was between a B minus and a B. I'll lean more towards a B because
Okay.
I'm not gonna trash it away because it's just starting. So I'm gonna give it a B.
All the positives that you said about it, I'm with you on those. I love the Nightwing interaction. I love the appearance of Talia. Bruno Maroni, I think that never come across him before, have we?
Not that I could think of.
I'd have to go pull out the Dark Victory map and see if if he was just laid out on paper during that. But yeah, it's interesting to me too, and how much is metaphorical. Bruce having like a nightmare. I do like the
Feels very
fact of,
BVS, doesn't it?
I mean, a little bit, yeah. The basically what Dick says to him of like what time of night it is, and you're running tests on yourself. Like, don't like Dick's very much like, I can see through the bullshit. What's going on? But then still gives like his smart assy comments to him and everything.
Oh, it's very good. It's very good. Grace.
So I really like that. I like Albuquerque's art. I think the art is really, really good.
Mm-hmm.
I'm curious. Yeah, I mean, it being, Barbados. Hello, Grant Morrison.
Yeah, that's a problem for me.
We'll
see. But then someone like Javi will get really into it.
Yeah, Javi would probably love it. We'll see, because I do love the image of that bat right after he came out of Bruce's chest, and he's got Bruce wrapped around his arm. So I think that image is really cool. And
how do you feel about the alien image?
Symbolic. The
alien
also,
panel.
We'll see what it ends like. We'll see where it goes from here. The alien panel, I think, is really cool.
It is. It's cool. I just don't know if it's just, it doesn't scream Batman, but it's very cool looking.
But then it's easy because he's having a nightmare to me. So, but then the box, which I thought, oh, that's a mother box. No, it's a music box. So I mean, we'll see. And then the backup, I did read the backup, and like I told you, like, yeah, I'm like, So for me, Batman delivered more than Detective did, but I mean, we'll see where it goes. And also, I did like it.
It's good. It's not a bad book,
but yeah. So we'll stick there. It'll be interesting to see what everybody else thinks about that one. Batman One Dark Knight #3 wrapped up by Jock. It's been a few months, but this is a Black Label book, as expected with those, especially these prestige formats, oversized. They come out every couple months. This wrapped up a pretty fun action story.
Mm-hmm.
Great pacing in this one. I read the other 2 issues, then read this one. Everything flows, everything makes sense. This dirty cop, I don't know, it's interesting. The inclusion of her, never heard of her before, and so she's just here for this story, but I mean, it works. Killer Croc's in the story, and I think that he provides a lot. And then in the end, I mean, Batman's he's a freaking hero, and then he brings justice to the streets of Gotham. But I was
like, man, this is better than Reptilian.
Oh my gosh, yeah, absolutely.
Croc was great. I like the story, again, corruption within the government and the cops ranks, like fascinating. I like the ending. It was emotional, it really kind of got to me, and I just had a lot of fun with this. And again, like Jock's art is so fascinating. Like that one panel where Batman's just consoling them, and it's all white, just kind of really just interesting stuff. And I love his creativity. And
so he did double duty here of writing and illustrating, and I think he did a pretty damn good job on both fronts. So I think this is slated for, man, I almost want to say like December hardcover collection. If you didn't read it, I say
Makes
you
a
could
great Christmas gift.
probably, yeah, you could probably find each individual issue. Oh no, it looks like September.
Oh,
All right, even
well,
sooner.
still, yeah.
Yeah, the hardcover collection in September then, and I don't know, it's worth it, worth picking up. We'll see if I double dip. I might, just because it seems like books that I end up really liking. I double dip because I don't know, whatever, disposable income, right?
Yeah.
I don't need to eat this week. I need to buy Batman comics again. Gosh. One Dark Knight is good. Then to wrap it up for Batman issues, Batman Fortress #3. How you feeling about this Justice League story disguised as a Batman story?
This one took a turn. This one really, I was like, oh wow, this is different than I thought it was going to be from the first issue. I'm really interested to see what's going on with Superman and
Yeah,
Batman working with Lex Luthor. The art's okay. I don't really know if I like the way that people's faces look.
I'm with you.
Interesting choices. Way more alien than I originally thought, I guess. Just interesting, just very, but it's, I think it's good.
Yeah,
It's I'm I don't know. I'm trying to think of what to say here. I'm enjoying it, but this isn't usually stuff I do get into, you know?
yeah. Now that's a Ryan sentence right there when it comes to Batman. I am enjoying it, but it's not usually my thing. I'm very particular, as Pete knows, on Batman mixed up with aliens and Justice League and stuff. But there's
Outside
enough
of
going
Ooch.
for me. Yeah, there's enough going on here that I did really enjoy, and I think it's just kind of, it's fun, and I want to see what it's building up toward. And like you said, like what's going on with Superman? Where's Superman? These dudes don't like Superman. Why? What happened? What did he do to you?
Superman?
Yeah.
Where's Henry Cavill?
He's reading Batman Killing Time.
He's reading Batman.
#5. No, he's reading Batman Fortress.
He's reading Superman year
1. Overall, then, I mean, so those are the Batman headlined books that I thought were pretty good. Majority were pretty good. I mean, the Batman Superman World's Finest.
This is a really
like
good
my
month. Like really,
yeah.
I wasn't even joking. I was being serious. We had a really good month of Superman.
Superman. Uh-oh.
Cavill's
on the brain.
Sorry, Cavill. Where's Henry Cavill? We had a wonderful month of Batman books.
Pete, I have a surprise for you. Now entering the conversation is Henry Cavill.
Oh, so Henry, why did you go to Comic-Con? Because I was trying to come to Rowan Lauer's Batman Book Club, mate. I made him
spot on.
I made him Australian. I made him
Henry
Australian.
Cavill impression. As always, we want to get into now really quick some honorable mentions. I won't spend a ton of time on these. Suicide Squad Blaze #3 Black Label book.
How is this a Batman
this month? Because it includes characters in the Batman world. Harley Quinn's in this one.
Fair enough.
Harley's in this one. It was fun. It was kind of the new quote unquote like the villain. The first issue was really interesting, and then it definitely became more about the Suicide Squad members more so than this Blaze, which is the villain. But there's some cool moments, some good moments between Harley Quinn and King Shark in this, and I don't know. It was just a fun story, standalone Black Label story. You got me to read the Joker #15.
That was interesting, right?
It was. Did you stick around for the whole series?
Yes, I did.
Okay. And how did you feel about the whole series?
I liked it. I think it's really worth your time, actually, if you're a Batman fan, to read this.
I got burnt out on it.
Really?
Which is why I dropped it.
I think if you read it in a trade in one sitting, I think it's going to come off great.
Okay.
Because the ending's really good, and we finally learn out what's going on with Bane, which I think is magnificent. It's a great little plot twist.
Which is how you hooked me in. I think you need to read Joker 15. Yeah, it talks about Bane, which affects Task Force X.
Task Force Z.
X. There we go. Z.
There
we go. Z. Yes.
Basically, Batman going forward, and just like it's interesting. Like it involved. So I thought that was fascinating. It ties up a lot of loose ends, and I thought it was a pretty just crazy story. I think this is probably one of Tynan's best works. Like I'm really high on this. Yeah.
All right.
Like this is much better than his Batman run.
Okay. I can already agree.
It's almost as good as his detective. Like this is very good.
I already agree with you, Peter. Poison Ivy #2
Really dug that.
is really another fun issue. Brings in another character. A great conversation at a diner.
That was a great scene. I loved all that.
All of that, and yeah, I like this. They're not going very like changing Ivy as, oh, she's this hero now, and she's all about saving people and love. No, it's her true to form. She's still kind of like a villain. She's just not walking down the street and killing people, sort of deal or anything like that. But I mean, the character hasn't really changed. She's still true to form, and yeah, I really
good
like
old Pam. Good old Pam.
Yeah. The 2 issues in, I really enjoy that. The Jurassic League #3. I thought that continued to be fun. I thought the art got a little sloppier this issue. I thought I liked it. I didn't like it as much as the past 2 issues. Formation of the Justice League, though, basically just a big action scene. It's not much deeper than that, but I don't need it to be because it's dinosaurs acting like they're the Justice League. It was fun. Nightwing #94. I think was another.
I didn't say anything.
Okay, well, go ahead, Pete. You weren't saying anything, so I just thought you didn't.
Okay,
Jurassic, the Jurassic League, Peter. What do you think?
I didn't like it.
Okay.
I'm gonna drop this. This is just
you're done.
It almost feels like dribble. Like I'm just like, what? Yeah, I can't like this. I don't think this is good at all, in my opinion. Like this is just it just went. It just kept going and going and going. I was like, okay, stop. Too far. Too far.
I can feel that. Yeah.
For me,
and maybe I don't know if it's me just burn out on it, but yeah, I kind of felt that this is like, that was fine. Am I done with it though? I liked the idea. It was a lot of fun the first issue, but then what else is going on that I really need nowhere? So it's fine, but you're done with it. This is maybe I felt that coming, which is why like I don't need that, Pete.
You were like, I don't want this negativity.
I don't need this, Pete. I don't need this. Nightwing #94. Good.
Solid issue.
Yeah. And I think that's Nightwing in a nutshell. It's a solid series. There are no, and it plays it small, which I totally appreciate. It's not like he's fighting an alien invasion. It's not the city is going to blow up. It's working at street level with everything. And I do like that. I think it
like
does.
Dick and Babs. I like them together.
That's my favorite part of the book.
Yeah.
I love that we have something that has both of them. And she's wearing a long sleeve shirt that's got the yellow oval on the breast like pocket. So like, yes, please. I want one of those shirts. Come on. For men and women. Those are great. And I do like where it ends up, where the mayor, where the issue ends up with the mayor. It's a good hook at the end. So this has been solid from the first issue that Tom King took over. And then lastly, Task Force Z #10. That was pretty cool. After reading Joker 15, it made me think of this one a little bit differently and how Bane is played into things, and then who basically like the
who is Bane?
I don't want to say I don't want to say the big reveal at the end.
No,
but the reveal at the end of,
you're like, oh wow, I didn't see that coming.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Right.
I like that.
Okay. I like where you guys are going. I was like, thank you for not killing Bane.
I
hope I could say the same thing about Oswald.
Yeah. I can't wait until this is released in a hardcover because I'll be picking it up. I really like this series. I think it's a blast. And I think the art
is fun. You get Waller, you get Two-Face, you get Jason Todd, you get zombies, you get it's very interesting.
It's got like everything.
And
that does it for Bane. That does it for me. There's another book, but I want to wait because it's in your honorable mentions. So go ahead.
Batgirls continues to be a blast. That ties in also with Catwoman and the phone call that was in Catwoman and Batman. So that's cool. That's a nice little piece, nice little connective tissue there. If you like Dick and Barbara moments, lots of great stuff in this book as well. So you get them in Nightwing. You also get them in Batgirls. It's really fabulous. I really highly suggest anyone who considers himself to be a Bat fan to read this book. I don't know why Lauer hasn't. If I had to tell him to read one between I Am Batman and Batgirls, it would be Batgirls.
Oh,
that out of the 2 books I want Lauer to read, I want him to read Batgirls more. I do enjoy Batgirls a little bit more.
Okay.
Harley Quinn is fun. It wrapped up an arc where basically Harley's best friend, his girlfriend has it out for Harley and is trying to get her in trouble and blah, blah, blah. So cool. Lots of zany action. Stephanie Phillips does a wonderful job writing it. Just lots of cool, crazy stuff. So I'm enjoying all the Harley Quinn issues. Those are a blast. I love all that. Catwoman, it continues to excite me.
You got me to read it.
Did you enjoy it?
I did. And I thought it was really interesting to have the different perspective on the phone call that we saw in Batman 125.
A lot of fun, just your typical heist stuff. You get some Robin, you get some Nightwing. So you get some cool stuff in there. All the Bat books really are kind of really connected right now, and that's blast. So
cool.
You can get little nuggets everywhere. Future State Gotham is really crazy, guys. There's about 4 Batmen out right now. One is Damian Wayne, one is Hush, one is Dick Grayson, one is Jace. Really insane stuff. There's like a battle royale for the Bat title. One Damian Wayne is the Damian Wayne of 666.
Whoa.
So it's you guys, this book is so much fun.
You're high on that book every month.
And it's on the cheap side of $4. Yeah. Wow. For the price and for the creativity, it's pretty out there. It's insane. It's a different timeline, so you don't have to worry about continuity. Or probably it's a future. But regardless, it's just really fun. Lauer, you got to catch up on this. If you guys are looking up for a trade read, I suggest Future State Gotham. And then Dark Crisis, which officially will be renamed Dark Crisis on Infinite Earths, next publication and with reprintings. Very interesting stuff. Just it's your typical crisis. It involves everybody and everyone under the sun in the DC universe. Cyborg Superman makes his comeback. Cyborg is there. Black Adam's needed. There's tons of lanterns. And Nightwing versus Deathstroke, big fight on Titan's Tower. Like you read this, and like I said earlier, what's going to reshape the DC universe? Dark Crisis on Infinite Earths or Flashpoint Beyond? Because both seem to want to do the same thing. Like, are they just going to cancel each other out and that's it? We have no more universe. So lots of fun stuff going on the DC side. So,
have you read many of the tie-ins of the Dark Crisis?
I actually haven't, because I'm still burned out from previous tie-ins, and
sure,
I'm kind of reading Twitter to see what is popular at the moment, like what people are enjoying the most. Maybe I'll read them digitally, and then I'll do retroactive support.
Some word I've seen on the tie-ins are that people aren't enjoying the tie-ins.
Well, that's nothing new then, is it?
So yeah,
let's be honest.
Yeah, it's anyway. So hey, there we go. There's a lot, but a lot of good stuff. I don't know. I don't think we've had many. We may have had like a month where we're like not as strong as months usually, but this month is a pretty good.
This month was pretty. I think this is our best month out of. We've been doing this. Was 14 months?
Yeah, like a year and a half almost or so. I know it's been a lot, but yeah, you got a good stack in your hands right now to go.
It's not even all of them, because that's all.
Continue your comic.
Next week's all digital. What was your book of the month?
Ooh, you beat me to it. My book of the month, Batman 125. Loved it.
Interesting.
I just loved it. Yeah. What about yours?
Killing Time, easily.
Killing Time. You love that book.
I love it a lot.
It's 3:26. Peter Verra sits in his room in front of his mic talking to Ryan about his favorite Batman book. It's July 31st, 6 a.m. Peter Verra is sleeping in bed, talking about the Batman book club with Ryan.
Yeah, that's exactly how it goes.
Why not? He wakes up. Somebody's in his room. Why? Anyways, Peter.
Ookses.
Okay. Thanks for joining me yet again for another month of talking Batman. Why don't you go ahead and fill everybody in on where they can follow you to find out your latest meanderings and nerd comments and such. PvP back issues.
Oh dear. If you would like to follow me in my Uxisian theories,
there it is.
You can follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and Zack Snyder's favorite platform, Vero, at Pete Illustrated. You can follow podcast number 1. That is a news-based podcast that I co-host with Coli, Eric Holzman, at straight_O_G. That's Straight Outta Gotham. I have a podcast that I co-host with Nicholas and Nico Caruso, the Italian Spider-Man Coalition podcast, at Italians for Spidey. It's just a fun Spider-Man themed show. We talk about everything: movies, comics, animation, lots of good stuff going on over there. At Team Yellow Oval, if you're excited about the Oval in print and on the big screen, it's coming back and we're all excited. You could follow me on Batman on Film or on Batman on Film YouTube. I got toy reviews, I got interviews, I got comic book reviews, animated movie reviews, lots of cool stuff over there. So that's my little spiel. Ryan,
Fabulous.
will you close out the show with your
I'm going
Galactian
to.
takes?
Yeah, my Galactian takes. Okay, you can follow the Batman Book Club on Twitter and Instagram at the Batman BC for latest episode drops, upcoming episodes, sometimes even some giveaways. If you want to ride into the show, you can do that at the BatmanBC at gmail.com. Make sure you go to YouTube and subscribe to the Batman Book Club YouTube channel, because Pete and I are on the road to no man's land. On there, we've got 2 parts down, going through the omnibus of Batman Road to No Man's Land. It's been fun. Pete has got me to buy that omnibus and read it, and really enjoying it. So it's been a lot of fun. So make sure to subscribe there and check that out, as well as other fun stuff that's coming and dropping on there, hopefully somewhat regularly. If you want to support the show, you can do that in a variety of ways. Like I said at the top of the show, patreon.com/thebatmanbc. You can buy merchandise, so t-shirts, hoodies, notebooks, stickers, onesies for your little ones at TeePublic. Just go to teepublic.com, type in TBBC, the Batman Book Club, and you can search for that. But if you want to support the show and you don't want to spend any money at all, it's 100% A-okay. Just rate and review the show wherever you listen to podcasts: Apple, Spotify, Amazon, Podbean, Google Play, iHeartRadio. Just review the show, because it helps spread the word. And we all know the word is panic. So for Peter R. Verra, I am Ryan Lauer. Until next time.
Read my pen, I got it.